Hey cruisers, I'm Sherry with Cruise Tips TV. Welcome to our vlog. I hope you're having a wonderful week. We had a fun one. I know that a lot of you watched our cruise line personality video, which is kind of a big disclaimer, right? And then took our cruise line personality quiz. Most of you said that the quiz was pretty true to form with your cruise line. We loved reading your comments. Thank you so much. We were really afraid to take on that video because we don't like categorizing any one cruise line into some kind of a generalization, but we had a blast with it and we have another episode coming really soon. So in episode 2, what we're gonna do is tell you a little bit more about what we do think defines each cruise line and tell you what we think their personalities kind of are. So watch for that one, give us your comments, give us your thumbs ups, and thank you. Thank you very much for visiting our website and checking it out. We have a lot of cruise news this week. A lot going on with Carnival. Did you guys hear that the Imagination is getting a refurb? Well, I think you probably heard it from us before you even heard it from Carnival, and we are going on the ship soon. A few more weeks here. We're going to film as much as possible while we're on board, so please continue to leave us your notes and ideas below on what you want to see. We're making a special video for you on just the refurbishments before we leave to tell you a little bit more about what to expect. And then we'll do our darndest to film on the ship all of the refurbishments and bring them back to you. Hopefully the weather will be great and the conditions will be perfect and we can do all of that. So without further ado, what do you think? Shall we do some Q&A? Before we do Q&A, one more thing. A couple of you have asked how to find our Cruise Gear channel. When you go to our YouTube channel, Cruise Tips TV, what you want to do, I'm looking at my notes here because I want to make sure I tell you to do this right. Underneath our big kind of profile picture, there's a little menu. The menu says Home, Video, Playlists, and Channels. When you click on channels, Cruise Gear should pop right up. You should see it right there. So be sure to check it out if you like to see gear. We do all kinds of things from tech gear to toiletries to unboxings to fun little towel clips. Last week, we did a great video on a solar-powered Bluetooth wireless speaker that is a lot of fun. It was, of course, another awesome subscriber-inspired episode. So check that one out because the speaker is a really great deal and we're getting a lot of good use out of it, and that sucker is going in my suitcase for our next cruise. I also want to ask everybody, would you like me, before we go on our next cruise, to do a pack with me video? I would love to do it. It might be a little bit long, so please let me know if you would like to see every single thing that I'm putting in my suitcase. I'll probably just throw my suitcase on the bed and tell you all about what I'm packing, from clothing to maybe a little bit of tech gear, maybe not so much, to my carry-on bag and all of the toiletries and things like that that I pack for myself. It would take way too long to go into what I pack for my husband and son, but tell me what you think, and if that's something that interests you guys, I will do it. All right, Q&A, let's do it. We have a lot of questions this week, and some of them tie right into the cruise news from this week, so I'm really excited. Our first one today comes from Paul Vergona in Australia. Paul, I'm sorry it took me so long to get to your question. Okay, poor Paul, you guys. Somehow Paul got roped into a 7 a.m. debarkation on his cruise on the Golden Princess and felt like he'd been kind of woken up early and pulled off the ship too early, and then found out he could have enjoyed his last morning on the ship. Paul, I think I know what happened. I think you accidentally somehow got roped into the self-debarkation crowd, where if you want to get off the ship and take your own luggage, you can, but you have to go at 7 a.m. kind of a thing. Next time you cruise, if you want to stay on a little bit longer, don't self-debark. Put your luggage out the night before, and you can get kind of a luggage tag that tells you what time that you're getting off the ship. Just go to the purser's desk or the hotel front desk, whatever you want to call it, and tell them that you'd like to stay on the ship and get one of the later call times, and they'll make that happen for you. I think that might be what happened. I'm sorry that happened to you. That stinks. I would want to sleep in too if I didn't have to be anywhere, so hope this helps. Our next question is from Timothy Foster. Hey, Timothy. Timothy wants to know if we can talk a little bit about Carnival's Faster to the Fun program and if it's a good program to get. I'm biased, Timothy. I love Faster to the Fun, and we get it on every single cruise when we go with Carnival. It's worth the money. The reason I'm glad that you asked this question this week is because Carnival has been in the news very, very recently because they have changed their pricing structure for Faster to the Fun. I have the pricing structure here. I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole entire thing, but I will say it is no longer $49.95 for every single cruise per stateroom. The price starts at $49.95 if you're on a 2-day sailing. It goes all the way up to $79.95 for an 8-night cruise or longer. Now remember, that is not per person, that is per stateroom. Here is what you get if you purchase Faster to the Fun. Basically, you are buying your way into a higher tier level on the cruise. If you haven't seen our video on Faster to the Fun, I'll try to link that below. I'm not sure that we can, but if you just search for it in our videos, it's there. It'll tell you a little bit more about it. But in short, here is what you get when you buy Faster to the Fun for your cabin. You get priority check-in, express boarding, first access to your stateroom, meaning you don't have to wait. As soon as you get on the ship, you can go right to your room. Your luggage should be there waiting for you. If it's not, it will be there pretty quickly, quicker than everybody else. You also get your own special line at guest services. You get priority dining reservations. You get tender priorities, which is awesome if you have tender ports, and you get different choices of debarkation. If you don't want to get off at a certain time, you don't have to. You get priority. So basically, you are buying into being at a higher loyalty level. So short answer, Timothy, in case I haven't made myself clear, I love it. We buy Faster to the Fun every time. The priority embarkation and the priority boarding on day one for us is worth every penny. Keep in mind, we are filming the ships a lot on day one because my husband likes to get on and rush to some areas where there's not a lot of people, like for example, the pool, the fitness areas, which will become crowded later in the cruise. So for us, we really need to do it. But if you want to get on that ship, do it. It's totally worth the money. I highly recommend it. Next question is from Judy West. Judy and I have been having a really fun dialogue this week, and she wants to take her family on a cruise. That is very awesome of you, Judy. The way that I approach this, because Judy asked me to give her some recommendations of itineraries and cruise lines, Judy and I feel like we have a lot in common. I sense that she would probably enjoy some of the same things that I did. So I looked at this in terms of what cruises I would like to do with my extended family. So Judy, because you're going to be doing this in 2018, I really don't know what ships are going to be sailing in the fall. It was impossible to find out. So I based my research on fall of 2017. And here are 5 ideas for you. I think the Regal Princess 7-night itinerary would be awesome. Princess, you can't go wrong. Everyone will be happy. The Norwegian Escape sounds really fun too. And guess what? If they're still sailing to Tortola, this would be an awesome itinerary for your group. You could take a ferry to the baths. The ship is exciting, the ports are exciting. Norwegian Escape looks really fun. Number 3, Holland America's Eurodam does the Caribbean on 7-night itineraries. They go to Grand Turk, Half Moon Cay, and San Juan. Again, awesome ports, and Holland America is wonderful. Great for families. Watch our cruise line personality video that's coming out to learn, to learn a little bit more, but I would strongly consider that one. Royal Caribbean too, they've got Harmony of the Seas. I'm not crazy about their ports, but for your group, the ship being its kind of own destination could be really fun. So check into Harmony of the Seas. And lastly, nobody knows where Carnival Vista will be in the fall of 2018, but man, that would be great with a family. They've got those awesome Havana balconies and so many staterooms designed just for families. They even have an area for families where your stateroom is sort of centered around a private lounge that has its own ice cream machine and things like that. So for the 4 to 10-year-olds you're sailing with, that would be a dream come true. I know my son would freak out if he had his own ice cream machine. So check it out. Please let us know what you decide. We're so excited for you. And as it gets a little closer, you and I can kind of get a new game plan together. Next question comes from one of our loyal subscribers, the Gaming Tex, TGT, the Gaming Tex, and he wants to know, I believe it's a he, I'm sorry if I got the pronoun wrong, what our very first cruise was. And this is kind of a funny answer because we actually kind of consider ourselves as having 2 first cruises. Mine was in the late 80s on a really old Carnival ship with my mom and my brother. I want to say it was like a high school graduation present, and it was really fun, but ships were really old then. So when my husband and I got married and we went on our first cruise as a couple, I really look at that as kind of my first cruise experience, and that was on Diamond Princess, and it was amazing. If you want to learn a little bit more about that first cruise experience, we actually were interviewed by the Cruise Dudes. They did a podcast, and we talk a lot about that first cruise experience there. So you could go to their website, thecruisedudes.com, and go to episode number 72, I believe, to learn a little bit more. But thank you for the awesome question. Now, Tomer Asa from Israel wants to know what the best destination to go to on a cruise in the winter from January to April might be. And there are a lot of options. I think that you want to focus on warm weather destinations that time of year, and there are also a lot of exotic cruises that time of year. The most popular that I was able to find for January to April, Tomer, were Caribbean, Panama Canal, South America, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and maybe even the Mexican Riviera. The Caribbean and the Panama Canal are kind of the no-brainers. Those are the most popular for that time of year. And I think the Panama Canal would be pretty amazing for you. So let me know what you decide. Thanks for asking. Bonnie Bergstein wants to know about booking shore excursions in Alaska on her own. She's been to Alaska, has booked through the cruise line, but had a friend say that a lot of people who are going on these 10-night itineraries to Alaska were saying, hey, look, just get off the boat, go to the dock or the pier and book your own. And she wanted to know what my opinion on that is. I gotta tell you, Bonnie, it really depends on how flexible I'm feeling during my cruise. Sometimes I don't care too much what I might do during the day and I have that wing it sort of mentality, but it's not always that easy for me. If I don't feel flexible, I'm gonna book in advance. One thing that you might wanna consider though, is you might want to consider booking an excursion outside of the cruise ship on your own in advance. It's a really tough call. Now in places like Juneau, there are tons of things to do right off the ship. And there are lots of tour operators right off the ship. So I think that would be pretty easy for you to navigate in a place like Juneau where you could take a bus to Mendenhall, you could take the tram up to Mount Roberts. There's a lot to do. But for those other ports, if you're dead set on doing one particular thing, you're gonna wanna book it in advance. I hope that helps you. If it doesn't, make sure that you write me back and let me know, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. That is it for the Q&A today, everyone. Please continue to leave your questions below. We love hearing from you. Tell us where you're going on a cruise. Tell us what you want to know about the Carnival Imagination. Just tell us how you're doing. We love hanging out with you. Thank you so much for tuning in today for our latest vlog. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Hey, click me to subscribe.